All right, big thank you to Jason. I put a post-up one in an AP2 lip. I wanted a factory lip. And as you know, these things are really hard to get a hold of, and the people that have the new ones are charging as much as a small vacation to Europe. All right, so this lip does have some damage. We're gonna take it out and take a look at it. Fortunately, I do have a body shop that should be able to take care of some of the scrubbing. So he sent me some pictures, so it's not like it's a surprise. Pretty deep scrubbing right here. It's not too bad. This can be built with high build primer, I'm thinking. And through here, the lip is still in good shape, the little rubber seal. This is available from Honda. I'll see if I can find the part number and I'll link it. But this, we might be able to just remove this and reuse it. I'll show you and find out. There is a tab broken here. It should look like that. I might see if I can build a tab to replace that. These tabs here, all in good shape. So again, this is fixable. Now, to give you an idea, there is a guy selling new ones. I think he wants $800 plus shipping for these. These used to sell for about $400. If you have one of these lips, if you want to go ahead and share on the comments, there is obviously an S2000 crowd watching our channel. Let's everybody help the community out. If you know of one, if you have one, go ahead and post it up. Let people contact you. Let's see if we can put a sale together, help the guy out that needs one, help you out that happens to have one in your garage. I'm not going to tell you what you should pay for it. You guys make your deals, see what you can do with each other. So let's go ahead and take this. First I'm going to see if I can build that tab up, maybe make a piece of aluminum and glue it on there, and then we'll take it to the body shop and see what they say. So now our tab is usable. It's about, I think there's a washer different to that. I actually raised this up with the stainless piece that we riveted on, so the surface height is close to that. But when we put it on, to make sure that this isn't like pulling the lip, it might just need a washer, but now we're good to go. I want to take this to the body shop. I don't know if they're going to need to have the whole car, if I just should remove the bumper so they can color match it. It sits right up against the bumper. Obviously when you see it from this direction, the bumper is here, so the match needs to be perfect. What they often do is match it, paint a couple of samples, put it on the bumper, and of course if the sample works, it disappears. Then you know it's going to line up color-wise, because the different angles will sometimes throw you off. But I'll keep you in touch with what happens. I'm going to leave this little rubber strip on, and if they say yeah it's fine, we'll tape it. If not, I did link the part number you can buy from Honda. There's plenty available, so don't panic on that. It's pretty cheap. I think it's about 14 bucks, and it comes in like a 10-foot roll, so you should be good to do the whole lip. So I know I showed you this lip a couple of times, but the color is quite a bit off. It depends on the lighting. Right now I've got my LED light on it, so it doesn't look as far off, but it doesn't fit very well at all. Even with putting a seal on it, it doesn't have the right contour. It doesn't fit across the bumper and sit exactly level like it should be. And of course, it is loose right now. It's like, it's flopping around. I mean, it's just doesn't line up very well at all. So the OEM one is definitely the way to go. Whether you can find one in good shape or one that needs a little bit of work, like the one that we have found, it's definitely worth the extra work to do it. So we're gonna take the lip over. One thing he asked for, he said, go ahead, bring us the gas door. We will get it close to the gas door. First off, make sure your gas door does in fact match your bumper, but this should be pretty close. It's far away from the bumper, so it might not, but it's a pretty easy piece to take off, just two 10 millimeters. What I'll do is I'll put that against a bumper, confirm that it matches, then they can color match the bumper to this, then do a final tweak if they need to get it right. So let's take this off and take it over to Superior. So I'll play with the lighting, but it looks like it's on the money to the bumper right here. You gotta try and get the shade in right so it doesn't have a shadow in it. It's pretty water spotty right now because it just rained. So yes, that's good. We'll take that over. Once the lip is done, we are gonna do a little bit of cleanup on the spoiler here. We're gonna wet sand it and polish it. Then we'll ceramic coat the whole car, of course, after it has been color corrected. All right, so now we have the look. That color on that lip is gonna look awesome. I'm gonna take it there. I already said that. I'm gonna repeat it. Talked about that rubber lip, didn't I? All right, so make sure it fits in the truck. All right, so that is the color code for the car. I'm gonna take the color code so they have it too. We are so lucky that the paint shop that I've used for years is right down the road from us. And then of course, AB powder coat, which we use, is right down the road too. We've been using them for a while since we discovered them, and they moved to us. Look at that. Those guys are right down there with the open door. Check out that blue. Yeah, I still have a soft spot for this car, guys. I know you're probably wondering, what happened to the NSX? I really fell in love with the orange, but there's something about that blue. You never know. Never know. Problem is, car guys have a soft spot for everything. Look at that Corvette. That thing is beautiful. Wow. What would you rather have? That car? Or that car? So right across the street from Superior is the pizza joint, but it doesn't look like it's open. I was gonna get us lunch. Maybe it is open. Okay, so they didn't have the pizza that we usually get on a Wednesday. They used to have a Wednesday special. It was buffalo chicken. It was absolutely fantastic. But they do have 2 or 3 good ones there. So I just got 2 slices of Hawaiian for me, 2 slices of meat for George, and a couple of Diet Cokes. So I'm looking at the weather for Robbinsville, which is pretty much where we are going. We're leaving Sunday morning early, and we're going to get there Sunday night. Check out that temperature. Could it get any freaking colder? 24 degrees. All right, so for you Jackson Racing fans that are kind of following our intercooler progress and some of the things that we're doing, this is another intercooler manifold we just finished that's going to Hawaii. If you're watching, this is what it looks like. This is the ported S-tube. This is part of our kit. There is a lot of gains in this, which we're going to be able to share some of that data with you soon. We have teamed up with a good friend of ours that can do airflow analysis, design work, 3D printing. We've got a lot of exciting stuff coming on. I'm going to show you just in a second. But the person that's getting this has a 92 to 95 EG. If any of you saw some of the cars we built years past, this was a carbon fiber heat shield that we made for the EG that we supercharged and took to Nopi. It was designed to run, obviously, right behind the headlight here. You can run your tube into it, take access of the cool air under the headlight or from the where the resonator tube would go. But it looks kind of fancy, and it helps shield some of the heat around there. I gave him a really good price on this. I'd rather see somebody get use out of it. It's been sitting on the shelf for probably 8 years. I just cleaned it off. So before I show you the other plastic models, this is what the factory, when I say factory, this is the kit S-tube, how it comes. It comes with a smaller opening, but it's pretty restrictive, and we're going to have some flow numbers for you here soon, because we actually did a flow analysis on this versus the ported versus the new one. Well, part of our modification is this. We port this out to a true 70 millimeter. And it's not just opening the hole, it's actually straightening out the airflow. Again, I can't wait to share some of the findings and some of the flow numbers. But this straightens out the air. The air doesn't have to change direction as much. It's more of a straight through path. There's quite a bit of CFM gain from this. Now, we used to build a sheet metal one back in the day, which was very time consuming, and it was just not cost effective for us to make or to sell. So this is some design work going on behind the scenes. This is the exact reproduction of this. We've even bolted these to the kit and made sure it works. Now we've gone through a few designs to get where we need it. Well, when you're looking at this in the car, this, if you was looking at from the exhaust side, again B series, the exhaust side goes here. This throttle body is kind of down in the hole and it's straight. Your tube off here has to make a sharp bend. This shock tower, this thing's in the way. We used to make our tube start to kind of shape this way for fitment and for airflow. This offset here means the air has to kick off this pretty tight. I'm going to show you a model of that here in a minute, how far that is off, because we have a model of just a cross section. So these are a couple of different designs. This is one we just played with airflow, but it bends the wrong way. This was just to test it because it's more of a straight path and it was too long. And next one is this right here. It's longer, it's more of a straight path. It doesn't have this bend here as drastic as this. This is a really steep angle. This is a lot straighter. So we did airflow analysis with this compared to that, compared to a stock one. You could be amazed at the numbers. Here is another one with some slight changes. It actually has threads in it, so we've bolted this on a kit to make sure everything works. So these are the plastic models. Let me show you the final plastic model, which is on a Supercharger kit. So this is actually bolted together on a complete kit. It's silver, so it looks obviously the right color of aluminum, but you can see how much better everything fits. This is much straighter. We have more room over here. You got more access for your hoses to come through here. Obviously the intercooler tank comes out to here. Everything is more open. When you do the LHT throttle body, this is our throttle body. It's going to have the bracket coming through here and the cable, so your cable is out of the way. Much cleaner. This is already angling, so our intake tube is going to be much smoother, much more room. We're going to have access up to a 74 millimeter throttle body. You can probably hog it and clean it and port it, but once this is fully tested, we're going to go to get this made 100% billet. It's going to be trick, it's going to be nice, it's going to flow so much more than a ported tube, and the tubes are starting to get kind of hard to find. So if you have a kit and it's missing a tube, obviously we'll be able to sell you the new S tube. But this, you're going to be amazed when you see the flow numbers. And we kind of got plans of building a supercharged car for LHT with all the LHT goodies later next year, if everything goes to power as we're kind of planning. If it goes to the way we're hoping, we're going to be building our own supercharged car with all the LHT goodies and possibly introducing some new LHT products for the supercharged guy. I still have a soft spot for the B motor. I still have a soft spot for the supercharger. I did a ton of work with these, many hundreds of hours playing with these, playing with horsepower, playing with blowers, blowing these up. I got personal friends with one of the rebuilders at Magnuson. I sent him so many of these things with pieces coming out the case and such. It was pretty interesting. Learned a lot. Kind of the experience that I've got is from hands-on testing, not just from reading books and talking to people that used to do it. Actually testing, actually doing it, actually making some good power. So this is exciting. If you're interested in injection molded superchargers, keep in touch with us. The throttle body package is ready. I have about another 8 kits left. We've sold quite a few, but throttle body with the bracket, it's a true 70 millimeter. It's got the pulley going the correct way. It's got the tighter spring so it doesn't stick. It goes back to a steel pin so it doesn't wear out. It's going to have good throttle feel. The cable has full travel. It's not coming up this way over a pulley and all colluded. It's a nice piece. So these are ready. Hopefully having these ready maybe in another 30 to 45 days. So keep in touch with this. So by doing some of the 3D analysis, like doing digital scans of this and cross sections, we'll be able to learn a lot about how the airflow reacts. And obviously we've got a lot of models here, but just the flange area, which is here on the factory tube, you can see basically like a wall. If you look straight in, the air hits a wall before it turns, which is what it does on this. That's part of what we open. We don't just open this to a 70, we actually open the whole thing and straighten out the airflow. But you can see there, it's basically an offset hole. The holes are nowhere near in line. So of course it was just a factory kit. It wasn't meant to be a super high horsepower kit, but you can kind of see where some of our gains are found in this S tube. Of course there's a lot of port work in here. We open this up, we taper these runners into the manifold, we raise the plenum volume. A lot of it is not just to fit cores, a lot of it is to straighten out the air. The air is coming straight up, we're trying to make it bend. By putting more of a gradual curve in here, increasing the volume, it allows the air to make its full circulation over the cores, and we get much more airflow and less restriction, less turbulence. There's going to be more coming on this soon, but right now, when you see the numbers on this, you're going to be amazed. You really are. You're going to be impressed with that thing.